Alrighty, welcome back to the Sonic Adventure commentary with me, Skully the Metalhead. Today we tackle the final story of the Sonic Adventure, Knuckles the Echidna. Now, this is probably going to be one of the most cutscene heavy parts of the game, and, well, for good reason though, because I think Knuckles' story is arguably the most important thing, or at the very least in terms of the main plot. But anyway, we've got a lot to talk about, so I'll let you watch the cutscene.
As far back as I can remember, I've been living here on this dark island, always guarding the Master Emerald from anything that could harm it. I don't know why I was given this job, why it was my fate. Destined to be here forever. What the? What's going on here? Oh no! Something's happened to the Master Emerald! Huh? Who are you? Did you do this? Oh, I'll get you for this! Oh! Ah! Hey! No fair! Wait! What's happening to you? Come back here! Whoa, that was incredible! I've never seen anything like it! Oh no, it's starting to happen! Without the Master Emerald's power, this whole island will fall into the ocean! It's up to me to find the missing pieces of the Master Emerald. It won't be easy. Pieces flew off everywhere. Guess I better start looking anywhere I can.
Sounds spine-tingly-dingling. So, what have we learned? We learned that Chaos apparently came from the Master Emerald, and, well, he's escaped, and we already know what happened to Chaos thanks to Big Story. And yeah, now we know what Knuckles has been up to, looking for the shards of the Master Emerald. Now, Knuckles, comparatively... Actually, I'd say he's pretty much a direct translation of everything that he had from Sonic and Knuckles, save for the punch attack, which you'll probably be seeing a little bit later as we get into the gameplay, but... yeah, in terms of how Knuckles controls, probably my favourite... actually, he is my favourite character in this game. What the hell am I saying that for? I don't know, I just love... Again, Knuckles is quick on his feet. I mean, he's not quite as fast as Sonic, but he is still pretty nimble. He can, you know, glide around, which makes it especially fantastic for exploration purposes, you know, as you'll soon see here, because a lot of Knuckles' gameplay revolves around treasure hunting, which typically leaves him with a lot of these wide open spaces, which, again, if you were wondering why the level design for this part of Speed Highway was a little bit choppy with Sonic's story, that's because it was designed for Knuckles' place, and again, you'll see that quite a bit as we go on. Again, I did mention that Sonic Adventure's level design is a little bit patchy in places, but again, I think you've probably seen plenty of examples of that, most especially with Gamma's story. Now again, as you can see here, you have a radar, which will lead you to the emerald pieces, and... something of criticism that a lot of people actually do have for Sonic Adventure 2, that I don't quite share, mostly because the radar, at the very least in Sonic Adventure anyway, it has a certain problem with it that I'll cover a little bit later on. But again, my brain's a little bit scatterbrained right now, and I just kind of want to bask in Speed Highway, because I really love the setting here. Like, I don't know if I brought it up in Sonic's portion, but I really love this segment of Speed Highway. Like, I mean, the music itself makes you feel like, you know what, I want to get up and do stuff today. It just makes you feel really good. That being said, though, and the whole city at sunrise setting is just fantastic. Sorry, I just kind of want to bask in the glow, really, because, like, I mean, Sonic Adventure as a game just has this sort of effect on me, man. Like, I don't know what you call it, but there's just something about it which just feels so... Nice.
This way.
I don't know, like... I don't know, it has this very 90s quality about it, and keep in mind though, like, I mean, I didn't play Sonic Adventure when I was a kid, like, you know, a lot of other people. Like, and I got into this game in around my early teen years, and somehow this just brings back that feeling of, like, the late 90s, early 2000s for me, you know? And Knuckles is just looking over there, it's like, ugh, this guy.
Good enough.
Oh, really? Just good enough? Am I not fantastic for you anymore, Knuckles? Huh? Is that it? Huh? Huh? Okay, that's enough of that. Yeah, I actually didn't intend to get to this part as quickly as I have, because I have a bunch of other Sonic Adventure commentary parts recorded for this. I think, as of right now, you've got part 1 of Tales of Story. Yeah, I think that's it. I was actually... What I was intending to do beforehand was actually to re-record a certain commentary part that fucked up. You probably won't be seeing that for a little bit because that's in Amy's story. So, I actually already had this all set up for when I was ready to record Knuckles' story, and I figured, you know what, I might as well get this out of the way now, and just get things sorted. Again, Knuckles does have all his abilities, as I mentioned beforehand, and whoa. Yeah, apparently Knuckles is frequently in the Matrix. But in any case, so I'd say... Damn, I really kind of wish I covered the gameplay, because... yeah, I'd say that's more mission structure now that I think about it. But yeah, you're gonna go to the Chow... Again, something I don't think I mentioned beforehand, you can pretty much do... Like, I mean, as a specific character, you can do things like go to the Chow Garden, go to Twinkle Park. Again, any character can do this. But, even if you're not required to go there story-wise, you do have the option to do so, which, admittedly, thanks to Sonic Adventure's hub world structure, actually does give it a nice bit of dynamic, and I do think is still very reminiscent of the Sonic RPG way of setting things up. You know, giving you the ability to do things even if you're not really required to. I don't know, it honestly does make me kind of pine for the fact that Sonic RPG was cancelled, and just kind of wish we'd see a revival of that concept. Preferably in a better game that isn't Sonic Chronicles, because fuck BioWare, they suck. Well, except for like one Star Wars game they made. Like, I don't really give a shit about Mass Effect, but... I don't know, it just leaves me depressed, I guess. Anyway, to talk about Knuckles' mission structure, I guess more specifically the radar system, now that we're at the level where I found the most trouble with it. Yeah, the radar, it tends to beep depending upon how close you are to an emerald. And this isn't so bad in theory, and a lot of people like it because it means you can track 2 different emerald pieces at the same time. At the same time, however, you're entirely reliant on finding the emerald by its beeping. And again, you know, you have the general proximity of it, you know, with the radar itself turning from blue to green to yellow or whatever, and to red if you're really, really close to it. Problem is, however, if you're getting signals from 2 different emeralds that are within close proximity, it tends to leave you a little bit confused. And again, there are ways to mitigate it by, you know, having Tikal go this way, and she'll point you in the general direction of it. But my biggest problem with the radar in this game is that, you know, given that these places are very, very boxed in, or at the very least in the cases of some levels, you know, it just bugs me. You know, and again, Sonic Adventure 2 attempted to fix the problem by locking off a segment of the radar. And again, you know, while I can understand Vans being a little bit pissed off by that fact, at the same time, though, I just don't really understand that criticism to such an extreme degree, because, you know, it somewhat fixed it, but at the same time, I think the biggest problem with Sonic Adventure 2's radar is that, you know, while it locked one bit of the radar off, I think it only detected one specific emerald piece rather than picking up any, which I think probably would have mitigated the complaints to some degree, but then again, I'm a little bit too scatterbrained to really talk about it, so I think we'll cover it around about the time when we get to the review itself, so I'll keep my thoughts safe for that.
Where in the world am I? I don't remember being here before, but something about it is familiar. This is very strange.
Anyway, now we are back in Echidna Land, the land of echidnas, and it's quite surprising to me that Knuckles never questions like, hey, there are other echidnas running around here, what's going on, where have these people been all my life? I don't know, it's very curious to... I don't know, I'm just a little bit surprised that he doesn't question this, but then again...
Father, please don't!
To call, the 7 emeralds are essential to our survival. It is for the good of all our people.
How can I make you understand? Attacking other countries, stealing and killing can't be the right path to peace. No one has the right to take their holy grounds. I beg you, Father!
Huh? Now where am I? Back in Station Square, I see. What's going on here anyway?
Anyway, as I was saying, and again, I guess the cutscene's just there pretty much perfectly demonstrated my point, is that, you know, it's a bit of a wonder why Knuckles doesn't really question it, but at the same time, though, I guess it makes sense since he doesn't really know what the hell's going on anyway, so I can't really fault him for not really knowing what to do in that situation.
Hey, it's Dr. Eggman! What's he got there? It's gotta be a part of the Master Emerald! Hold on! Come back here! Eggman, give me back the Master Emerald.
Knuckles! Oh, this isn't what you're after!
You're right.
That's okay, though. I can use you as a guinea pig to test it. Chaos! Chaos!
Chaos? It's that creature again. The same one I saw on my island. He was there when the Master Emerald shattered. I'm sure of it. He saved me the trouble of looking for him. Now I'll get him good.
Way to go, Chaos!
Ha! Changing shape won't scare me. Fine, give it your best shot.
And now we have our boss fight against Chaos 2, which is Chaos if he had steroids. Chaos 2 is... I'd say it's probably a decent challenge compared to some of the other boss fights in the game. His worst attacks aren't really until the 3rd phase after you hit him a couple of times, but at the same time though, I don't think you as the player should really have too much trouble against him. That being said though, he can be a little bit deceptively hard in some cases. Bounce. But in any case, things to talk about. Like, I never thought I'd run out of tangents, and this is the most story-heavy part of the game. Yeah, it's pretty interesting to see how Dr. Eggman is actually handled in this story. I'd say Eggman is actually, well, again, to talk about, I think it was the Rashomon effect, as A-Hat96 had pointed out in one of the previous parts. I call it the campfire effect, but I think the official term is the Rashomon effect. Yeah, it's very interesting to see that Dr. Eggman is a lot less verbose in Knuckles' version of the story. And again, I can't remember which video it was that talked about this, but again, I think it might have been actually no, I don't think it was a Sonic Dissector video. I think it was something where Knuckles was simplifying a lot of, like, I mean, okay, for example, like, say in Tails' story where Dr. Eggman would be like, "Mwahaha, Sonic, I am going to destroy you using this complex model machine." You know, whereas in Knuckles' story it'll be, "Mwahaha, I will destroy you with my evil machine." I don't know, it's interesting to see that Knuckles simplifies a lot of the dialogue, if that makes any sense.
Bah, so what if you won this time? You have yet to see the true powers of Chaos.
Yeah, that still doesn't faze me. You hear?
I know something that might. It's about Sonic.
What? What about Sonic?
He's after the pieces of the Master Emerald too!
What do you mean?
You're not the only one on a wild goose chase, idiot! Why should I ruin your surprise?
I wonder what he meant by that. I'd better find Sonic. I wonder why Sonic is after the Master Emerald. I'd better work fast and get to the bottom of this.
And now we have our motivation as to why Knuckles is, well, confronting Sonic later on. And to be entirely fair, I don't quite see the point as to why a lot of people consider Knuckles being incredibly gullible or an idiot for that thing, because, again, you really have to judge it by the context of, you know, things by Knuckles' situation, but, you know, he wasn't really given a lot of context. I mean, Eggman pretty much just said, "It's about Sonic, Nanik. You're not the only one on a wild goose chase, you idiot." You know, like, I mean, he was just given vagaries of description by Eggman by saying that, "Oh, Sonic might have something to do with this. I don't know, you know, he stopped, had a nice little bit of tea, and then, you know, we just had some dinner." Like, I mean, Eggman was pretty much just being vague, like, "Oh, go pester Sonic or something, I've got a world to conquer, bye." And, you know, Knuckles is like, "Well, what does Sonic have to do with this?" And again, later on, you'll see exactly why Knuckles would reasonably, you know, try and approach Sonic on that respect, but I don't know. I don't really see why it acts against Knuckles in that respect, because, you know, not a lot of context, man. Okay, and we're back. I just decided to take a little bit of a break, and now we are moving on to the next part of Knuckles' section. Red Mountain, and again, this is also where a lot of the level design quirks I mentioned beforehand tend to come to the surface. And again, it's something I already talked about in Gamma's story, I also touched upon in Speed Highway, and it's something that I think is really noticeable here, because this level was designed specifically for Sonic in mind, and there was really not much done to change this. Like, I mean, you know, it makes sense as to why Sonic Team would probably make this a level for Knuckles, considering that, yes, this is on Angel Island, and yeah, it is spacious enough, so it was like, oh, okay, well, this will make for a perfect treasure hunting level, done and done. Problem is, though, it isn't really, well, I think my biggest problem with it is that there's a real distinct lack of set pieces, you know, which, in the case of, you know, Sonic's portion of the level, that's fine, because you are regimentally structured to go in a very specific fashion, like the camera will position itself on a specific pathway for you to follow and complete the level, as demonstrated by a lot of the Sonic and Knuckles level design philosophy. However, for Knuckles' gameplay, in terms of treasure hunting, where it's a lot more explorative and up to your intuition to find it, there isn't really a lot to tell you exactly if there are any recognizable landmarks where the emerald pieces might be. I might be sounding a little bit confusing there, but then again, that's just kind of symbolic for this level, really. Like, I mean, there are some bits and pieces that you might recognize from Sonic's portion, but good luck trying to find anything recognizable. And it's something where, even though a lot of people criticize Sonic Adventure 2 for having a shoddy radar, I think Adventure 2 more than makes up for that with, you know, having better level design. Because, I mean, compare Red Mountain to something like Pumpkin Hill. You know, Pumpkin Hill, you have recognizable place like Pumpkin Mountain, you have the church, you have the train, you have the little train yard, and, you know, recognizable landmarks that creates data for you to go, okay, where would be the most likely places for these, you know, emerald shards to be? Would it be here? Would it be there? Would it be over on those pumpkin-shaped pillars? You know, it's data for you to make an informed decision, whereas here, it's pretty much just like, oh, look at these rock structures, it might be there, it could be that place you might remember from Sonic's story. I don't know. Like, I mean, say, you know, piss and moan all you will about the radar, but, you know, even with Adventure 2's, I guess, degradation in that regard, you know, you can still find it if you can hear it beeping, and even though Adventure 2 requires you to search around a little bit more, it's a little bit more rewarding because, you know, in Adventure 2 you actually feel like you're, well, treasure hunting. You're finding something based upon data and where you think the emerald piece might be, whereas here you're just kind of stumbling blindly and just hoping that you come across something. And to me, that's my biggest problem with Sonic Adventure with Knuckles' story. Like, I mean, it's not a big problem, mind you, but it is something that feels very unfocused, and it's something that I'm very glad that Sonic Adventure 2 had refined and perfected, really. Well, again, I'd say perfected loosely, because a lot of people are like, yeah, right, I didn't detect all of them, I'm the worst game ever, 0 out of 10. And all that kind of whiny garbage, which, you know, fair dues to the fans if they don't like it, but I don't really see the issue. I mean, let's take a look at it from a vantage point, like, right here. I know I'm repeating myself slightly by saying this, but... ugh. And you do not... see, you can recognize that section for things, oh yeah, that's where Sonic was running down towards, you know, the actual decent part of Red Mountain with the cool music and everything. Whereas here it's just... ugh. Like, I mean, I actually... to be perfectly honest, I actually wonder if Knuckles' treasure hunting segment would have been better suited towards the interior of Red Mountain. Like, I mean, yeah, it's more designed for Sonic, but then again, this area is more designed for Sonic, so where's the excuse there? By the way, don't fall down here like a dumbass, because you will die, as clearly displayed here. And yeah, thankfully you do not lose your Emerald Shard pieces if you die, which actually act as a checkpoint, as you could probably see beforehand. I think it shows you your time. Yeah, it does. I believe so, anyway. Yeah, Tikal does somewhat help, although, in case I actually could barely see where the fuck she was going, so... yeah, kind of makes me glad that Adventure 2 kind of scrapped the Tikal concept, because, I mean, yeah, while it does give you a general direction, it's... well, just sort of a general direction, really. And I do kind of prefer the hint monitors from Adventure 2, even if Mad Space could kind of be a little bit tricky in that regard. But in any case though, like, I mean, even for a basic concept, the treasure hunting gameplay is arguably my favourite in this game. Is it very unfocused? Yeah, and is it the reason why people play Sonic Adventure? Probably not, but again, it's something I still enjoy. Anyway, now that that's over, we can now finally move on to the good stuff. And by that I mean pretty much the part where we first meet Knuckles in Sonic's story, and Tails' story. Guess who we're gonna fight here? Actually, no, I probably shouldn't make you guess because I won't get an answer. I don't even know why I paused there as if I was expecting an answer. Maybe the existential loneliness is starting to get to me, and I'm talking to thin air, because it fills me with comfort. But in any case, I think we're coming to the... yeah, I think we're coming to the end of this part, actually, so I'll let you watch the cutscene, and if there's anything more to talk about, then I'll talk about it. See you then.
There's Sonic! Eggman was right. What's that in his hand? It looks like a piece of the Master Emerald. He has no right to have that.
Hey, Knuckles! Whoa! What do you think you're doing?
All right. Put him up. Hand over the emerald now.
That's not gonna happen, buddy!
This fight is going to be over quicker than anything else. Because, just take a look at this. Oh no, Sonic said oh no, it should be the meme. Oh well. I'm Skully, keep it new metal, and I'll see you later in the next part of the Sonic Adventure commentary. Bye-bye.
Oh, jeez! Oh no, the Chaos Emerald!
Eggman! What's he doing here?
Uh-oh. That's all there is to it. You guys are too easy.
That's a Chaos Emerald!
First come, first serve, they say. And you serve me too well for your own good.
You can't get away with this! Knuckles, did you let him trick you again?
Like you weren't?
Smooth move, Knucklehead!
I've got 4 emeralds now. Here, Chaos. Come here, my hungry pet.
what he is.
No problem. I'll make him eat dirt.